I'm Carla Galarza, and this is Patrick, I met earlier, and we're from the University of Libraries, and we wanted our colleagues to introduce themselves briefly. Mike, Kenny, and Amory are on Zoom, but they've introduced themselves a little earlier. We have multiple Blacklight apps, but today we'll just focus on two of them: our Finding Aid site and our new library catalog. We host the Philadelphia Area Archives, which is an aggregator of multiple institutions' archives in the Philadelphia area. It also includes all of our finding aids and is the primary display for all of our finding aids. A notable thing about this site is that it is not an ArcLight implementation because of some stakeholder needs. We just made a Blacklight app and indexed the records ourselves. We allow partners we harvest from partners via a website that they can post all of their EADs on, or we have started providing direct harvesting from archive space. For all the Penn held material, we provide requesting access via Aon. We're currently working on this app and upgrading it to Blacklight 8.
Yeah, so this says if Mike wants to talk about it, I can also talk about it. Okay, I'll talk about it. So our new catalog project has been our major effort over the last year. So our old catalog, known as Franklin, was kind of deemed unmaintainable. It had been around for a while, and it had some deep customization by people who had left the institution, and at a certain point, it just became kind of overwhelming and unmaintainable. So we embarked on basically a complete rewrite of our catalog and its related infrastructure. So this is kind of made up of three pieces. The first being Penn Mark, which is our Ruby gem that parses our Mark XML. Previously, we just had a big file with a bunch of helper methods that parsed Mark, and this has kind of allowed us a way to standardize it and deploy it to multiple of our applications, which is great. We also have catalog indexing, which is a separate Rails app that kind of initiates, performs, and tracks our indexing related jobs. And this is great because this writes to the same Solr instance that Find, which is our discovery interface used for catalog records. And this has fully integrated requesting and account features and is pretty fully functional compared to Franklin.
And Find is our Blacklight instance,
yeah.
And the rest aren't.
And so we wanted to talk a little bit about our pure Blacklight advanced search. So this allows users to build more complex queries with kind of the lightweight out-of-the-box configuration. This was a big improvement over using the advanced search gem, as it's one less thing to maintain, and users can modify their search by building on their existing search parameters using the edit button. Yeah, continue. So we've built some custom components. So as you see at the top in this picture here, we have support for range searches. This is just an individual view component, which is nice to have. And we also allow users to search and select multiple facets to apply their search. We noticed with the default advanced search implementation, there's a limit on the facets that you have that display here, and the default for that is 10. And then if you click the More button, you get a pop-up modal with all of your facets. And this is the same modal that's used in kind of the basic search. And we found that works great for basic search, but the advanced search is unique in that it allows you to select multiple components, but once that modal pops up, you're no longer able to select multiple facets. So as you can see here, we built a custom implementation using a JavaScript multi-select library called TomSelect that was great, and it has a Bootstrap theme, so it integrates very nicely with our catalog. It allows you to search and filter and multi-select, and I think it looks pretty nice.
Like most catalogs that implement Blacklight, we customize our show page, and we took some inspiration from BYU and have this kind of tabbed interface where the holdings are displayed on the left side and the metadata plus additional information about the holding is displayed on the right side. We also wanted to be able to pull in external data as necessary. So we really leverage turbo frames in this application, you know, to be able to kind of make the site more dynamic and more JavaScripty without actually having a front end framework. So in this case, this screenshot shows how we pull in library hours and library information from our Drupal site when the user clicks like the tab on the top, the little arrow at the top. We also pull in additional holdings information that we don't get from the Alma availability API in a turbo frame down there. And that just allows us to be a little more dynamic and it saves us from making a bunch of Alma requests before the user even looks at something. We also continued using turbo frames in our requesting workflow. So we use turbo frames to guide users through the selection of an item and then their delivery options. So here in this example, you can see that once the user selects a request button, signs in, they are prompted to select an item. And once they select an item, we dynamically pull in their requesting options based on like their user, where the item is, etc. And on this form, multiple things can happen. So for this, for the scan selection, users are forwarded to our Iliad requesting page where they can add in more additional information. For pickup and books by mail, they are forwarded to Iliad and or Alma as needed. In some cases, we can, for scanning, we forward users to a new page to add in more information, but for the rest of the options, it's just a one click. Once you select an option, the request is submitted for you. For special collections items, we forward our patrons to Aeon. Once the user submits their request, they are forwarded to what we're calling the shelf. So this is a page that kind of integrates the Alma and Iliad APIs to combine requests from both systems so that users can see them all at once. And I'm happy to talk about this and I'll let you talk later if that's of interest. And yeah, that's kind of what we've been working on over the last year. We're happy to take questions at any time. Thanks.